work, man, and stay flat, okay?
Okay, I'm a flat earther.
What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? Tonight's video is brought to you by Echoes. Yeah. So tonight we are going to be doing a joint stream with the NonSequitur show. We're going to be going over a Daniel Pratt video where apparently he has us cornered with a particular argument about the flat earth and the globe earth and everything like that. So we're going to listen to what he has. It's going to be a little bit different of a stream tonight because all super chats and any new members, we're going to count those up and count those as like a $5 donation. But any of those that occur for this stream tonight, we're going to be donating it directly to Camp Quest, Texas. And so if you want to support Camp Quest Texas or anything like that, then please do a super chat. We will discuss those at appropriate times and everything like that. So we're doing, I'm getting there, honey.
Oh, sorry.
We're doing that instead of like registering for a wedding, because if you guys didn't know, Casey and I are getting married tomorrow, and Kyle is the lucky officiant that will be marrying us. He gets a free steak dinner out of it and everything. And we got a new member, Timothy Dutton. And we also had Joseph Chappelle earlier, as well as Paul Reap, who did a $5 super chat saying, "Congratulations, GE and KC. We appreciate your donations, and those will be going directly to Camp Quest." I do have a minimum for how much I'm going to be donating tonight, but anything over that is going to go directly to them. So please get those super chats in or anything like that. Camp Quest is a really great organization that does like a secular education and like science-based sort of camp, summer camp for kids. And they're all across the nation, and we're doing one for Camp Quest, Texas. So if you can help out, that would be awesome. If you want to, give us something for the wedding or whatever, that's why we're doing this. We're going to donate anything that you give us to Camp Quest. So we got another one, the Random Explorer. Congrats to GE and KC. Thank you, Random Explorer. So Kyle, what do you? How do you feel? Being on both channels at once right now?
Like a hooker, like I'm being used everywhere.
In Alabama.
Oh yes, but no one told me that I was going to be marrying you guys. You just said you wanted me to come down here for a steak dinner.
Yeah, I got a script. Don't worry about it.
Okay, as long as you have a script. I'm joined here though with Trumpy Bear. This is the real reason I came. I don't know if you know this, Casey, but you told me like literally minutes before we were coming live that you had a Trumpy Bear.
I did.
Now, when I first started YouTube, Frankie would have me and Steve on to talk about, in the geek room, we would go over some videos. And every time we did that, we would always end up on the Trumpy Bear video because I made such a huge deal over why they need a bear that's like Trump. Now, see, this is super cute, right? This makes Trump, it kind of humanizes Trump a little bit. But there's also another product that I think is more appropriate to describe, our commander-in-chief. This is absolutely genius. Whoever did this was genius. You have all the problems, and we'll be whipping some of those out too. But yes, I'm super excited. I have turned off super chats on our side here on the NonSequitur side, so that people, if you're wanting to send super chats and have those read, please go on to Godless Engineers stream and donate there. So that way we can make sure that all of the proceeds go to that charity. It'll be a lot easier this way. So they are temporarily turned off for this stream. So if you have the inclination and can, please do so and donate over on engineer side. I am doing something tonight that I haven't done it since I've started, and that is getting a little tipsy in celebration, of course, for our two lovely people here. So you might see a different side of Kyle than you normally do. Don't judge me tomorrow. Do not judge me tomorrow. And I think that before we get to Daniel Pratt, we had an incident shortly before starting the stream, but it really shows you the resolve, I think, of Godless Engineer and his ability to never give up, never ever give up. And we're going to watch a little video, and you're going to see the story behind this.
Kyle, Godless Engineer, I can't download that video through Facebook.
What the hell? Okay.
I have to
You-
actually get it via Google Drive or something
Yeah.
else.
Give me the video, Casey, through, directly to a message. For some reason, Facebook's not letting him download that. So while we wait on that, we can talk about our day today, actually, and what we did today. GE, do you want to explain our outing today? I thought it was great.
Oh yeah, I definitely did too. So this is Kyle's first trip to Alabama, North Alabama specifically, and we have the Space and Rocket Center up here. And we went to the Space and Rocket Center, and we were just amazed at everything that they have there now, because, you know, they rotate out different exhibits. And the exhibit this week or this time was the Apollo missions. And they also had presentations on like orbits and how they work. And it was all very cool. The entire exhibit went through like all of the Apollo missions and everything, as well as in the what's that called, honey? The Johnson Center has a full like Saturn V rocket inside of it. Like legit, it's the full thing that's inside of it, and we got to go through there and see like how it works, the different stages. Davidson Center, sorry, the Davidson Center. So we got to see the Saturn V rocket, how it operated, and everything like that. But it also contained exhibits of the projects that happened before that got us to the point of the Apollo missions. That would be Gemini and Mercury. I believe Mercury is the one that put an American astronaut in orbit around the Earth. And then the Gemini is where we sent astronauts up to do different docking maneuvers and everything like that, testing while in orbit in preparation for getting to the moon. And then, of course, Apollo was us putting all the pieces together and making it all the way to the moon, landing on it, and everything like that. So that's what that entire thing was about. And then we did a lot of different things there, and we had a lot of fun. We got to touch a moon rock sexually, and that was interesting.
Touching is putting it mildly. Molesting is more appropriate. We also another cool thing is that we got to talk to this guy named Brooke, and you'll see it in a video. I recorded the entire day, and us going to the different exhibits, and Casey and GE giving wonderful explanations of what everything was and how it worked. But we got to the brain, so to speak, of the Saturn V rocket, and there was a gentleman in the little display place there, obviously a NASA shill. You can spot them a mile away on this campus because they wear white lab coats, and yeah. So we got to talking to him, and he is actually a guy that worked on these rockets back in the 50s at the very start. And he is how old did we figure out he was? He was close to
What does that card say?
it was a
19,
yes, he's close to 100. I think it was 1926, maybe 24. Yeah,
95.
he's 95 years old. All right, and this guy is still in the involved in NASA and explaining to people how things work. Just the nicest guy. And so I took away from that is really irritating when you have a flat earther that tries to, shit all over that guy's life work, because here you have a 95-year-old man who could be, enjoying his time retiring. Instead, he's spending his days still there, still explaining how things work. And I got his contact information, and he said he would be happy to come on. So we're going to have him on and hear his story. Yeah, not tonight, but I want him to not see me when I'm buzzed. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. So Dave's got the video ready. We'll watch that real quick. We'll see how I got to my bottle of wine, and then we will talk to or hear from Mr. Pratt. Dave?
All right, here we are in Alabama trying to open a bottle of wine with a screw that we use a screwdriver to screw into the cork.
Oh, you got this.
And a hammer because roll tide.
Pull straight up with it if you can.
Oh Jesus, do you want to come over here where you got countertop that's...
You got this.
Oh.
You got this. You do not have this.
Okay.
Well, hey, look, we made progress. Where's that pointy?
Hold on. There's the point. Here. That's right. Hold on, viewers. Here. Hold that. There. Screw that sumbitch in.
Oh, that one's ready. You can tell.
All right. So here's how we're doing this, y'all.
It looks like he's set. He's ready. It's going in the bottle. This one won't be so lucky. Oh yeah, that cork's done for. You can see the whatever a cork would have on its face when it's getting ready to give up.
Well, honey, you gotta leave room to put the screwdriver.
Oh, he's got it.
Oh, okay. God, we're gonna go to the hospital the day before our wedding.
This is how all good stories start.
Y'all are not making me feel better about this.
This is how all good stories start.
Oh, it's coming. He's almost got it.
Oh, you got it. Oh,
Jesus.
How long is this cork? This cork gets
it's like giving
deep.
birth. Just one more push. Ah.
It was anticlimactic.
Well, it's not champagne. It's not pressurized. Damn. We did it. Now Kyle can have his wine.
Cool.
There you go.
And that, my friends, is how you open wine in Alabama.
Yeah, that's not how you open wine in Alabama. That's how you open wine when you're in Alabama and you don't normally drink wine. You drink fine alcoholic beverages like Bud Light Orange.
It almost was like the cork was the bottle was giving birth to that cork. Like it did not want to alleviate. But however, we have a souvenir here now. You will always have this. Like, this is a momentum of me here, right here. Screw in a cork. Yeah. So that was great. He is the reason that this is happening. So thank you, GE. Salute, sir. You
are very welcome. So what? Oh. So first, before we get to the actual video of Daniel Pratt, I want to go through these super chats that have come in, and I have to say I appreciate everybody sending in all these super chats. We got Raza43 that says, "Congrats, my friends." Jasper Jeep, congrats on your wedding. Utah Heathen, congrats to KC and GE. Paul Reed, congrats and Camp Bound. Seraph became a new member. Thank you, Seraph. Kuwesa donated I don't know, probably like $5. I don't know.
It's $20.
Oh, 20. He moved here from the non-sec for the donation. Congratulations, KCGE. Happy days ahead. Awesome. Concord 327. Congratulations, GE and KC. Ken Schaefer, congrats on your wedding. Wishing you both a happy and long life together. Querios and Milk, best wishes and love. You two are goals. Cajun Crustacean says, GE, you aren't Sokka. No touching the moon inappropriately. Hey, the moon loved it. Okay, it was asking for it. It was literally asking to be touched. Anyways, yeah, it did. So it was literally asking for it. Anyways, in the conspiracy says Cinnamon Toast Crunch for the win. Yeah, we got churros tonight, and then also.
Oh yes.
I've got to get used to that. We actually have 2 new brands of cereal. We went shopping. Cinnamon Toast Crunch in its victory for being the best cereal, hands down, no questions. It's not even up for discussion anymore. Cinnamon Toast Crunch won. But they also have new Cinnamon Toast Crunch churros. This is the shit. However, in a move that is almost evil, it's so good. Post counteracted with what could be a Southern person's. I mean, this is.
No, it's like.
Oh man, they didn't. Oh, they did. Oh.
They fucking did.
And the bananas are marshmallows.
Oh.
Yeah,
They're not marshmallows.
They're meringue
See, I
marshmallows.
didn't get one of those. I only got them later.
Oh, I got one. No, he went back in. Oh, well.
Michelle, I'll get them.
Yes, vanilla banana pudding. There we go. And they have meringue. I feel like Post should like pay me to endorse, or like I should be the cereal guy.
They're just like they're the same exact consistency as the marshmallows in
Yeah,
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Genius though. Genius Post. You came back for the win. Genius. Okay. Also, I'm gonna throw something out there. For anybody that donates to this charity over $20, GE will tell me, and we will play a game. We will start with Jesus. If you've ever wondered what Jesus looks like as a rapper, as a businessman, as a matador, as a sheep, as a hippie, or as the Pope, for every $20 super chat and over, I will add an article of clothing to our man here, and you can tell me which direction you want him to go. So you have a matador, a businessman, a sheep, a frat bro, and a rapper. Yeah. Cool. All right. I guess let's G, you want to take us into Pratt?
Well, hold on. I still got a few more super chats to read out before we get to Pratt, and then I'll read after Pratt. I'll read the rest of the super chats that come in, unless they are specific ones to address Jesus. We got Corrupt Syntax that says, "I love you, John, Casey, and Kyle. Thanks to Kyle, I made sure to get my pets, myself, and my children vaxxed and neutered. Well, 3 of 3 on vax, but the vet gave me a weird look if he could neuter my teenagers." Pentalica says, "Push the cork in with a pin."
Oh, this was way more fun.
Yeah, no, this was definitely better. Jasper Jeep says, "I'm drinking scotch and root beer." Mrs. V, thank you for the donation. Fletcher Eisler says, "GE, you did Bama proud opening that bottle. Lol. Congratulations to both you. Love you both." Thank you, Fletcher. Reese, buy some decent beer. Hey, this is decent beer, okay? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This is perfectly fine for me. I have 3 more bottles, and this is the 3rd bottle. Ardawan, because I like your videos, because I love to silly tweet at you, because I got a contract at work for an indefinite time, because the cause is great, and because I want to congratulate you two. Ding, ding, ding! Brian Shannon said, "Worth it to see you not cut your hand. If you were going to drink it all, then F the cork. Congrats." And then Artisan Tony says, "Congrats to you, GE and KC, and happiness always." All right, so let's get on into Pratt, since we got all the super chats and stuff out of the way. Get your dingers ready, because he has a lot of fucking dumbass shit. Oh, wait, we got Cajun Crustacean. It says, "Frat bro Jesus, able to turn water and $20 into Bud Light and a beer bong." Do we have a frat bro type of clothing item?
Oh yeah.
All right. So Dave, if we can bring up
Hey,
Pratt's
kids.
video.
We're
There we
gonna
go.
debunk Earth's rotation one more time. But first, we have to get some mathematical facts out of the way. Because we know how our globagandist friends love to contort the truth. So once again, we're
pause.
back at the...
Okay, so first off, here I love how he's talking to us like we're infantile, but in actuality, like I don't think that he actually knows any kind of mathematics, like at all. I think that he could probably manage his bank account, maybe, but I think that's about as all for the math.
He to me, like every time I watch one of his videos, it sounds like or it seems like I'm watching a descent into madness. Like every single video, he just will start out in a way and ramble like he is losing his mind every single time he uploads video. Every time. I haven't seen one video that he's done where he's even attempted to make any sort of like valid point. I mean, and you'll see in this video, like I remember a few minutes ago, this is the video that you were playing like an hour ago, right?
Yes, it is.
And what was my question to you?
Is this Sleeping Warrior? Is that?
I said, is this guy losing his fucking mind? Like he literally sounds like he is losing his mind.
He is definitely crazy, especially because he called us Globgandist, and I saw somebody mention, a few people mention how he said that. So he's combined the words propagandist with globe in order to suggest that we are somehow pushing like propaganda about the globe. You see, the main thing about propaganda is that it has to be false, like in general, and nothing that supports the globe theory, if you will, is like propaganda, like at all. He's a flatgandist, is what he is.
And just coupled with the fact of what he did with Team Skeptic, like I just really don't like this guy. You know, like it's funny to watch, and the points that he tries to make. Did you see the video of him and the fan, where he did that demonstration with the fan?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've heard him talk about a fan. I haven't seen him do it actually with a fan. Yeah, yeah. Chrismer says that he's already earned this, and it's a fail whale. You know what? I think a fail whale should be an emoticon here on the channel. I'm gonna make one. All right, Dave, can we play?
the equator. And our old 15 degrees per hour argument, okay? I want you to imagine this is our clock. This is our hour hand. Our clock has a 24,000 mile circumference. 24,000 mile.
More like 25,000, but I mean,
Circumference.
it's closer to 25,000 than 24,000.
Okay. So that means, Globagandists, try to stay with me now. A 24,000 mile circumference clock would be the same size as the 24,000 mile circumference Earth. So, as this hour hand moves its 15 degrees per hour, in order to do that on a 24,000 mile circumference clock, this part of the hour hand would have to be moving at 1,000 miles per hour.
All right, pause. Yeah, so it's interesting he says this because from an outside perspective, like from a reference frame that's outside of the Earth, the surface of the Earth at the equator does move at 1,000 miles per hour. But when you put the reference frame like here on Earth, then you have to use it's a different reference frame. So like here on Earth, I believe it's like 0.0067 or something like that radians per minute. Like it's the radial velocity of it is actually very slow. So what he's saying here, while technically is correct, on the Earth, like from a reference frame on the Earth, it does not seem like it's moving that fast. One, the atmosphere is moving along with the Earth, and plus we're moving along with the Earth. So that's why I say the reference frame is important here. That's what he doesn't understand. And you can't just write numbers on a piece of paper, draw a circle with a radius line, and say that you know math.
Yes, you can. You absolutely can. This has been proven by Kent Hovind. He was the actual person that debunked the lines on a piece of paper argument. So actually, you can. He does this with I'm going back to the fan because that is sort of the same thing here. He literally tries to, and he said that at the beginning of that video. He said, "I'm going to have to take you, you globe believers, and treat you like you're back in kindergarten." And he goes in this long diatribe about how we don't understand how real science works, that we need to be on a fundamental level better at sort of grasping the basics. But all he does is rant. And like the guy's drawing a clock, like a 2D clock on a piece of paper. And he's trying to equate this to the actual shape of the Earth. It's just, I mean, it's so funny. If it wasn't so sad, it'd be hilarious. You know what I mean? Like if this wasn't a genuine attempt by him to prove a nonsensical point, it would really be funny. But it's
Well,
not.
that and the guy is completely patronizing. Like he's such a
Yeah.
he. Like if you want somebody to talk to you seriously, don't treat
Right.
them like children. That's the worst thing you could possibly do.
He's an angry, bitter person that, for some reason, thinks that everything the government says it's the same MO. Like I always go back in. If you were at that place that we were at today and saw the things that that museum had, the attention to detail that every one of those parts has on its own. I mean, if he wants to go back to basics, let's go there. Those things were as detailed as you can. I mean, just like to the minute level detailed. And seeing these things in front of you, when you see the video, like it won't do the scale any justice. But these things are monstrously huge, and you're up underneath them looking up. And I mean, it's just that the idea that these people that work for NASA, that guys like Brooks, who have spent, the guy's 95 years old and he's still there answering people's questions about rockets. The idea that you can have somebody like Daniel fucking Pratt waltz in and draw a clock on a piece of paper and say that what they do and what those guys do and what guys like Brooks does is a sham. It's just laughable. I mean, like at this point, it's just like, how dare him, and who the fuck does he think he is? That's how I feel about it.
Well, who's he? Who is he? He's a crazy ass, nearly homeless person in a garage with a marker and a piece of paper. That's who he is. How dare you not lick his asshole? Yeah, we have a whiteboard. That's true. What, he needs a whiteboard, but I mean, I don't think that he can afford the like $60 for that level of a whiteboard. Paul Reap donated $20 earlier, and he didn't know about the whole Jesus thing, so he would like to see a rapper Jesus. What? All right. So, just so that everybody knows, for those of you that are just now coming in, we're taking super chats on the Godless Engineer channel, and anything above $20 will change the outfit of Jesus. But we're raising this money for Camp Quest. So if you want to give us money for the wedding, or you just want to give money to Camp Quest, on the GE channel we have a link to their donate, or you can just donate through the super chats, and we appreciate everybody that's donating. All right. So let's, there's rapper Jesus. Hello.
Okay? This is mathematical fact. Correct? Correct. Okay, so here is my very, very simple challenge to you, globe believers. All I am asking is the great minds of Flat Earth and Globagandus, if you'd like to actually participate in some real science for once, why can we not just build a treadmill, maybe 10 yards wide, 20 yards wide, whatever, okay? And we have it moving in this direction. We'll call that east, okay? So the treadmill is moving in this direction at 10 miles per hour, okay? And all I'm asking is have someone on that treadmill have 2 marks on the track of the treadmill here, okay? And just time that person walking to this one, okay? And then turning around in the other direction, time it walking this way. And then have a point here on the track and a point here on the track. And I want you to time them walking this way to this point, and then we'll have one here and one here, or use the same one, and going north-south on a 10-mile-per-hour treadmill. And I want you to tell me that they don't feel any difference. I'm guessing they may be able to get away with it this direction, but as soon as they start trying to walk from this point to this point on a treadmill that's only going 10 miles per hour. Now remember, we just established
All right,
the
pause.
globe at the equator.
Oh my God.
Okay, so like there's been some people to point out how he doesn't understand relativity and how reference frames works and all that. That's true, but his fundamental misunderstanding here is the speed at which that this treadmill is going. Now, in order for a 20-yard long or wide or whatever treadmill to make it all the way around in one 24-hour day, it would have to be going 1/64th of an inch per second. So if like it wouldn't be going 10 miles per hour, it would be going the 1/64th of an inch per second. Which let's see. 4 inches times 12. That's 0.1825 feet. Yeah, that's what. Let's see, 164. I can just do this inch to feet. 0.0013. It's 13 thousandths of a foot or something like that. So basically, like for it to be going like that fast per whatever, like it would be going very, very slow is basically what it would be going. So I don't understand why he can't understand like the differences in speed. Like the radial velocity of the Earth is at 0.0007 or 0007 radians per second. And he's really not applying it correctly, and that's where his fundamental misunderstanding is. Of course, you can't tell this fuck that. You can't tell him that he's doing it wrong because he thinks that he's right in everything that he does.
I've yet to see a like I said a minute ago, like I can't stress this enough. I haven't seen a video to date where any point that he makes is even like somewhat coherent. He's one of these people that think that, and there's several flat earthers like this. They do math, and they have charts, and they put up statistics, and it's all applied in a way that is not the way that it should be, and they're trying to like make these principles fit in a way that the way that reality works just doesn't happen. His examples here are nonsensical, and like Team Skeptic said, Daniel Pratt, you're just a fucking idiot. Oh, he was ready. Oh,
I ding when somebody says fucking idiot.
he was ready with that though. That's some good sound effects control. I'm impressed.
Hey, you know, we're goddamn professionals.
I'm
here,
impressed.
pal.
I'm impressed. I like it.
Well, I believe that was Dave that dinged, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah. No, I like your ding, honey. No offense, Dave.
We
but I like,
we both
I like-
we both dinged, but Casey's ding was better.
All right, let's go ahead and continue with dipshit here.
In order to get that 15 degrees per hour on a 24,000 mile circumference clock has to be moving at 1,000 miles per hour. So on the Earth, the ground on this big old ball, which is just another shape of a treadmill, the ground is moving at 1,000 miles per hour. Supposedly.
Pause.
No, no.
The Earth is a treadmill, guys. Earth is a treadmill. We're done here. All right, Earth is a treadmill. That's what he said.
Why do I have the tune to "The World Is a Vampire" in my head now? The world is a treadmill.
There is a treadmill. Dun, 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 dun.
The world is a treadmill.
Dun, 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 dun. That's actually really good. Like no, the ground is not moving that fast. Like the ground is not moving. He says that like he implies that it's like
Turning across the
right,
sky.
like a treadmill. A treadmill runs on a belt, so the ground is literally moving beneath you, and you're having to keep pace with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes sense. The ground is not like moving like a belt.
Yeah.
It's the entire object itself spinning. You're moving with that object. It's not like a treadmill, Daniel Pratt. The ground is not like the games you play as a kid. It's not lava.
Hey, if you ask our 9-year-old, sometimes it is.
I mean, come on, like really, like give us something. I just pray for the day that we get something where it's like, huh, that's an interesting point, or I'm gonna have to look into that. But instead, you're here getting the the world is a treadmill. Get out.
Well, I like how, I mean, he doesn't understand those fundamentals, but also, I mean, for him to compare it to a treadmill, I mean, I don't know. It seems like too ridiculous to take him seriously, but you know he's serious about this shit. He's always posting every single fucking day. He goes after Team Skeptic. He goes after I believe he's been going after Sean Hawkins that's in the chat there. He's been going after him consistently, and it's at some point like it just comes like off as a desperate cry for attention. And I realize that I'm giving him attention by looking at this video like live, but at the same time, I mean this entire argument is just so woefully stupid.
The saddest thing about this is to watch a grown man like Mr. Pratt here think he has something, like genuinely think he's making a point that merits a a well measured and well received response. Like to say that the ground is moving like a treadmill. It's the same as Edgewise, who literally told us that back in the day the continents were stacked like a hamburger, and that it took a dragon that God sent down to unstack the continents and place them where they were. No, that's what this other guy thinks. But to me, it's like they will not stop for some reason coming out with these arguments. Like, they're arguments that are so dumb on their face. They make no sense, but they still come with them. Like, it doesn't matter to them. They're going to throw everything that they can until they see what sticks. Like, it doesn't matter how dumb, how just obviously proven wrong it is. They don't care. Every week we hear something on this show that's beats the week before. Like, I keep getting shocked. Like, when are they going to run out of dumb argument and just admit that they don't have an argument? Period.
Well, yeah, and like he's wanting people to like walk in the different directions on it and see if they feel anything. Which I actually had a super chat, and it's relevant to this part. Bill Nicholson says, "We don't feel motion, we feel acceleration." Does he think it's harder to walk from the front of a plane to the back because you are working against the direction of flight? And I mean, you wouldn't be able to ask him that. Because, like somebody else pointed out in the chat, that he would just block you, or I don't know. He hates the whole train like analogy, like pointing out how if you're moving on a train or whatnot, you wouldn't feel the motion, you feel acceleration. Like, he hates being proven wrong. But also, like on the treadmill, moving as slow as it would need to move in order to model like the Earth correctly. I mean, people wouldn't have no problem walking back and forth, walking up and down. Like, it amazes me how dumb he is.
I'm sure he does hate that argument about a train. I'm sure he hates the that question you just asked him about an airplane, because it demonstrably proves what he said to be just a pile of horseshit. And nobody wants to admit they're wrong. The thing that I don't get, though, is like, at this point, they're not even trying. Like, they're not even attempting to present I'll go back to this. We were talking about conspiracy cats earlier, and how I think that he does a really good job of not only pointing out where flat earthers get things wrong scientifically, but also pointing out like how just completely idiotic they look doing it. He did a stream with Anthony, and Nathan Oakley was like goading him to come on. Did you see this?
No, I didn't.
So Nathan Oakley's goading him to come on, and wanted to take him right there. And eventually the two get into a conversation. Nathan Oakley sat in silence most of that stream. The questions that conspiracy cat, different cat. Yeah. The questions that he was asking, he couldn't answer. And when stumped, he would act like just a baby when conspiracy cats would like maybe butt in to say something. He would say, "You're not letting me speak. I'm not getting a voice." There were flat earthers in that chat that saw the job that Nathan Oakley had done and were getting on to Nathan Oakley about how much he had dropped the ball. They're just not even attempting to try anymore. Nathan Oakley talks all of that shit about conspiracy cats and Reds, and the moment that he's given the opportunity to do something about it or try to demonstrate the so many proofs that he has, he folds like a little napkin. It happens in this chat all the time. We have flat earthers galore in the chat. The moment that you ask them to come in and demonstrate what they say, or back up what they're claiming in the chat, bitch made all day long. It's just getting pathetic. I mean, it's really sad. It's getting very sad, the level by which the flat earthers are performing. And they need to, if there's any hope of them growing or spreading the truth, they need to start doing some shit, like trying to actually give a fuck and put an argument for it. Because right now it's just pathetic. It's a joke. It's laughable.
Oh, it is definitely laughable. I love how these people have these totally shit arguments, and they think that they're actually saying something of worth. It's interesting. Anyways, let's go ahead with Daniel Pratt, though.
And people have no problem walking north, south, east, west, and they don't feel any change in direction, any motion, anything. Okay, so then
I do have to point out that people feel a change in direction when they fall down, hence the force called gravity.
Yeah, they do feel a change in the direction like that way and whatnot. And I mean, you feel a change in acceleration. So like falling down would definitely be a change in acceleration. But I mean,
Like they say,
go ahead.
it's not the fall that gets you, it's the sudden stop at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
they should have no problem
I'm not
doing
a
it
big fan.
on a 10-mile-per-hour treadmill that just represents a moving ground. And don't tell me anything about get them on a truck, because that is not the ground moving. If you're walking on the bed of a truck,
The ground
that bed
doesn't
is stationary.
fucking move.
And the
No. See, it's what they latch onto a fundamental understanding of the way reality is, and they won't let it go, no matter how dumb it's. Like he literally just said, "Don't give me the example of the truck moving, because that proves me wrong, because that's not the ground moving. The ground is not moving. The truck is moving. The ground is stationary. The entirety of the planet is spinning as a whole, but that's not the ground independently moving. Do you think that he understands that, or he literally thinks that the ground is moving? If that was the case, you could literally get in a hot air balloon and just wait for whatever point on the planet that you want it to spin and come to you.
Well, right, but he doesn't understand conservation of momentum or anything like that. And I have to say, Daniel Pratt, I'm getting married tomorrow. Get that kissy face away from me, bro. I'm not gonna kiss you, Daniel Pratt.
wheels are moving. The wheels would be the treadmill. So no, this has to be a treadmill where the actual ground is moving. And I want you to
Pause.
time them.
Like, I mean, I get the sense that he thinks the tectonic plates are just constantly moving around the Earth, like, and that's what's moving around the Earth. Like the Earth's not actually moving, but the tectonic plates are. Is that what he's trying to say here? Because that would be kind of like a treadmill Earth.
It's like okay. I was in an airport this morning because I flew here from North Carolina. You know, in some airports they have those long, moving platforms. You know, you step on them and they're moving in the direction. You can continue to walk while that thing's moving, but it moves in one direction. It's kind of like a flat escalator, right? I don't know the technical name, but it's a moving platform.
Right,
You get on there and you're able to speed through them. This is what he thinks that the Earth is like as a whole. Like everywhere you step outside, it's a moving platform going in one direction. Does he not realize that when you walk outside, you can move in any direction that you want to, like independently, and you get no resistance back from that? I could walk outside and go north, south, east, and west, and I get the same amount of resistance. Like there's nothing pushing back. It's not like a goddamn treadmill.
No, exactly. But does anybody else notice how like Daniel Pratt looks like one of the henchmen from like a action movie where he's serving the boss guy, but yet he's the guy that's gonna die as soon as you see him. Like you see, he's like a red coat or a red shirt or whatever the fuck. Like he just he's immediately gonna die.
Nick Cage would play him in a Netflix movie.
I'm reminded of that line from A League of Their Own.
See how it works is the train moves, not the station.
Oh yeah, nice. I've got this clock. It proves the Earth is a treadmill. That was the worst Nick Cage impression ever, but whatever.
All right, we could go ahead and play.
When the treadmill is stopped, time I'm walking here to here, and then when it's going at 10 miles an hour, time I'm walking here to here and here to here and here to here and here to here. if the Earth is a globe and moving at 1,000 miles an hour, there will be no time differences, no significant time differences. It should be easy. And they should tell you, no, I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel anything. You ever tried to be on a treadmill at 10 miles an hour? Imagine trying to walk sideways across it.
Okay,
Good
pause.
luck.
What is he talking about?
Like, I don't think Pratt has ever been on a treadmill. Like, I know that I'm a fat ass, but I've been on treadmills before. I don't think that he actually has.
What is this hill that he's dying on? Like here, like
It's the treadmill hill.
I'm trying to figure out why his water heater's behind him.
I've seen a lot of flat Earth arguments. I've never seen one this incorrect, but someone so convinced that it is. Like he literally thinks that that the road is a treadmill and that you can get on it and you can just ride it. Like when you walk outside, right? You have to actually create movement. If you want to get from point A to point B, you have to move your legs and get there, right? On a treadmill, that's not how it works. There are countless videos of people who try to, step down on a treadmill and eat it because the thing's spinning and they're not moving with it, and that usually doesn't end very well. So the fact that he thinks that the planet is some big belt that is moving around and we're able to just, I don't know, run with it or be it's just so stupid. Like I can't even believe he's literally gone on for 15 minutes almost about the most incorrect example I've ever heard on flat Earth. This right here has more truth to it than anything Daniel Pratt is saying right now. Just think about that.
I'm gonna see if I can get a particular video to Dave. I don't know if we'll have time to watch it, but maybe we can just watch a little bit of it because Pratt actually, at one point in time, he tried to disprove the rotation of the Earth using water, a ball that was stuck to a power drill.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
Please find
That was weird.
this guy, or can we call Reds?
We can't hear you, Kyle.
I said, can we not just get Reds in here and award Daniel Pratt the dumb fuck of the year award? Like already, he's the ultimate dumb fuck. There is no dumber fuck on the planet than Daniel Pratt.
Yeah, so I believe it might have been, was it crap, it might have been Frustrated Atheist. Somebody asked, Frustrated Atheist, Godless Engineer, are you saying he's the Sean Bean? No, you see, Sean Bean, like, at least makes it a little bit before he dies. This is the guy that you see, that you're introduced to, that says something snarky or smart-assy, and then he gets eaten by a velociraptor. Like, that is who Daniel Pratt is.
He's what's his face? Oh man, what is that guy's name?
No,
Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves has a very like every movie that I've ever seen him in. I can't wait for him to like just eat it. That's just a personal rant. I'm gonna shut up.
We've got another corrupt syntax sent in some more. He says, increase tone and decibel low to high. I want to stick my head under this damn semi out of frustration. Daniel Pratt, you are a fracking idiot. Take clothes off of Jesus, please.
Hold on, guys. I will give you for your viewing pleasure, Magic Jesus in the style of Magic Mike.
oh my god. Magic Mike Jesus. Do I need some music? Do we need some
Yeah.
Again,
If I wasn't going to hell
think,
before, I definitely am now.
number one, that a treadmill.
I have the other video loaded up.
Okay,
Yeah, was there any? Right, G, go ahead.
well, no, I was gonna say let's see if he gets anywhere else. I can't remember if he makes another point or he just rambles on about it. But the other one's only like 4 minutes long, and we can pretty much just watch his experiment.
Yeah, I want to see if he ever gets like to something that could be an actual point, or how he's going to end this. Like,
Yeah.
he's got to get out of his hole somehow.
Or wait, Dave. Oh, Dave, can we go back to the other one?
Dave. We're going to stay on the other video.
It doesn't act the exact same as a spinning ball.
Should I play him?
Oh yeah, please, thank you.
Treadmill moving at 10 miles an hour is going to act the same as a spinning ball moving 10 miles an hour, whether it's 10 feet in diameter or 24,000 miles in circumference. It doesn't matter. It's one giant treadmill. And at the equator, in order for that hour hand to move 15 degrees, it's doing 1,000 miles per hour. So the Earth, the land you're walking on at the equator, once again, has to be moving at 1,000 miles an hour below your feet. So humans that walk around on those conditions all day, every day, supposedly, should have no problem getting on a treadmill going at 10 miles an hour and walking every different direction and not feeling any change in motion or any balance problems or anything.
Well, I would agree that they wouldn't if you had set up your experiment properly. If you have the treadmill going at a speed that is congruent with the Earth rotating, like is comparable, not congruent, but comparable to the Earth rotating, once in a 24-hour day. Like if you had to go in that speed, no, they wouldn't feel any difference. Like they'd be able to walk back and forth, whatever. They could probably take their dick out and walk one way or another, and they wouldn't feel any kind of draft or drag. But I mean, I don't understand his fundamental. Like, I understand what his fundamental misconception is. I don't understand why he holds to it so hard that he's like, fucking treadmill Earth, people. We live on a treadmill Earth, and that's how things are gonna be.
Treadmill Earth, hollow moon. The sun is close to the Earth. The moon is close to the Earth. The stars are lights in the sky. The moon is a light. There's a dome over the planet. These I'm not even going to call them questions. These idiotic statements continue to pile up, and for some reason that I don't get, and I wish somebody would explain it to me, there is a answer for why things work the way they do. And with the answer that you and I, G, accept, it's provable, it's demonstrable, it's you can make predictions based on it. It works. It's a model that works. It doesn't need any special explanations. It doesn't need it doesn't hinge on somebody lying to you. It doesn't hinge on the truth being sequestered away. The model fucking works. It's just a fact. That's the fact of the matter. It works. But for some reason, they're willing to embarrass themselves to this degree to make these claims like the Earth is a treadmill, or the moon is hollow, or that the sun is this ball of just lights that circles, a couple miles above our heads every day. NASA gets a ladder, goes up there, unscrews it at nighttime, puts it away. It's all of these things that work. They look at and scoff. Can't be that, because the government lies to you, man. They don't want you to know the truth. Fuck you. Like, of all the things that they can lie about, fuck you. That's what I have to say to Daniel Pratt. Fuck you.
Well, and especially after what we saw today, because what we saw today was like mountains upon mountains of evidence of like us going to the moon, of like the Earth being round, and like all of the mathematics that goes into like rocket science and shit. Like, it amazes me that they can still be so fucking crazy.
It's not like it's not real. I don't believe them when they say this. Like for the most part, there are a couple, yes, but I don't believe the majority of them when they say that they honestly believe that the Earth is flat. This is a group of people, and I'm convinced of this. This is a group of people who, at their core, for whatever reason, are okay with being dishonest. They're okay with getting behind this battle flag of the flat Earth because it's the cool jaded club. They've been persecuted. They're the outsiders. Everybody's against them. This is a club for the persecuted, a club for the jaded. And when you have people that like Bob from Globebusters, like Jeranism, every one of these individuals have had instances where they have been proven to either be absolutely lying out of their ass or to be completely wrong or to inadvertently prove that the Earth is a goddamn globe like science says it is. And when that happens, what do? Do they do like most people would if they're shown information that contradicts what they believe and can be shown to be wrong and can be shown what the correct answer is? I'll take an example that happened with me and the Sphinx. I was a huge proponent of the Sphinx being older than what they tell us that it is. I had show after show after show of this, of people, I had questions. I didn't feel like they got answered. I continued on with the conspiracy until Dr. Bob Schneeker came on. He explained things to me. The questions that I had, he was able to explain in a way I understood, and I could not deny that he was correct on that. That is the most likely case. And so I admitted at that show that I was wrong. That the science and evidence points to it actually being the age that it says it is. And that's because I would much rather be correct than to hold to some jilted lovers club because they think the government lied to them about. Yes, the government lies to you. Grow the fuck up, get over it. They're not going to tell you everything that you think you need to know. That's just a fact of life. Maybe it's not the way it should be. That's the way that it is. What you don't get to do is sit around and make up these bullshit theories that just confuse people who are actually trying to find answers by drawing on a piece of paper a diagram of a treadmill and talking about things that don't really work that way in reality and just confusing people. That's just a shitty person. You're not interested in truth. You've been shown the truth. Jeranism proved that the Earth was a globe. He literally said, if this light is shown to come through this top hole, then that would happen on a globe Earth. And what happened? It shined through the top hole. And he said, interesting. Not, I'm wrong, or wow, maybe I need to look into this a little bit more. No, damage control mode kicked in. How can I spin this? The gyroscope with Bob. How can this thing be wrong? Not how could I have been wrong with my my thoughts or the experiment I thought would prove my beliefs correct. No, the instrument's incorrect. I have to encapsulate it in this this tube that will keep it from.
Well, what he actually said was, well, obviously we're not going to accept that.
Exactly. Obviously, we're not going to accept that. What does that tell you? That doesn't tell. Look, these people are fucking dishonest. They're liars. They don't really believe that the Earth is flat. No one, I don't think, can be that stupid. I don't think you could will yourself to be that stupid. Maybe, but I don't think that I don't think that Daniel really believes the shit that he's espousing here. No. How could he believe that when he can step out on the ground and stand still and not move? That by itself is not a fucking treadmill. It's a ground. It's stationary. But it's getting like I get so like my patience wears thin when this happens. They're just dishonest. They're in a cool club on the internet on YouTube. They get attention. They're not after truth. They have no interest in being incorrect. They come and spout dropity. The fuck is dropity? Levity? Trees grow upward, therefore gravity's not real? You're going to uproot centuries of actual physicists and mathematicians by looking at a tree and noticing that it grows upward. And that's your proof that that gravity doesn't exist? Get the fuck out of here.
No,
Seriously, get the fuck out of here.
I disagree with the levity thing. It's always going to be uppity to me. I don't care what that's associated with. It's always uppity. But so I think that's pretty much it for him. He probably goes on to a supervillain laugh at some point after this. But I don't know. Are you guys ready to see the ball?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Dave, can you switch to the ball one?
Did you just ask people if they wanted to see your balls?
No.
That's what I heard.
What?
Fake news.
See that it's the same drill I showed in the other video. Clamp's just there to try to make it a little more sturdy.
This is some
And
fucking
if I clamp
backwards
it down
ass
on the
engineering
housing,
I've
it
ever seen.
squeezes on the motor and messes with the drill as it's spinning. So, and there is the ball. Here's my tape measure. It is 8-inch diameter kickball. Hopefully you can see that. Close enough, I think. I know my camera's flopping everywhere. Okay. Oop, I'm losing. Let me get you set up.
God damn it, Pratt! Get your science shit together.
Oh, I got that up here. Here is the variable switch I'll be using.
Can you
Stand it up
imagine
to get the ball?
the joy that he was probably feeling setting all of this stuff up? Like,
So again, this is what they want us to think. I should be spinning it the speed to represent Earth.
That's too fast.
Yeah, it is. It is too fast. But that's as slow as the variable speed thing will go. And so that's even though it's still way too fast.
But again, like I explained in the last video and the other
Ever
day,
heard
that's how slow, even slower it would be spinning.
Have you ever heard a scientist ever, GE, in a lab doing an experiment, looking for results, for precise results, go, huh, close enough?
I don't know how shit works.
Has that ever happened? Has an academic paper ever ended with, in conclusion, close enough? No.
Probably not.
No. You know why? Because that shit doesn't cut it. It may cut it in your lab.
His workshop.
Well, this is just
It's his garage.
It's his
close enough. Close enough. Just everybody. With Jarednism, it was interesting. I went with Daniel Pratt to be that'll be the next close enough.
I want to see what happens when the water hits the drill. That's what I'm waiting for.
Did you get all the plaque out of my arteries, Doc? Close enough.
Did you connect up all the tubes with my heart surgery? Close enough, I did. There might be a leaky leak or two.
Oh, I hope I was just showing that. But this is how slow it would be spinning. I mean, slower. Way slower, even. Hold on. You know, this would be more representative to what they say it should be if I were to pour this water on there now. But like I just showed you, this is nowhere the rim velocity of what the true equator of Earth is in miles per hour. In order to reach that same force or rim velocity, this The maximum I can get to is 107, what we came up with miles per hour. But using this switch, I'm only going to go to halfway up. Okay? And we'll see what happens with the water. Hopefully it doesn't get all over the funnel. But here we go. Ready? And hopefully the ball stays on. Okay, so I'm going to show you. This is only halfway up. The dial is only halfway up, okay? Here we go. You ready? Here's the water. See how it hasn't even covered half the ball?
The amount of level of stupid in this video is overwhelming. Like,
Water wasn't poured on the earth. That's so fucking dumb.
I'm having an anxiety attack over here, like literally watching this. Like, this is triggering me so bad. GE, you go first.
Okay, so he starts out with the thing moving way too fast already, but he says, "Oh, this is more like what it would be." And while that's technically a true statement compared to what he's testing at, I think that the fact that the entire ball like rotated once in like what was that, like a minute and a half? That's obviously too fast. Like, you have to make it rotate at a slow enough speed to where it would rotate all the way around once in a day. Next, I don't know who he thinks is pouring water onto the earth as it's spinning, but that is by far the most interesting way to get water onto the earth.
This is this is, I mean, honestly, I don't know what to say to that. Like, honestly, like half of me is hating myself for sitting here listening to this moron pour water like God's watering a garden. And number two, you hit the nail on the head. The scale thing is a incredible factor in this. And you're not, unbeknownst to him, apparently, we are not on this planet as it's spinning, starting from a state of 0 and going up to the amount of speed that it's spinning. We are in a constant state of motion. You do not, you feel acceleration. Right. Now, if the Earth were to stop spinning, we'd be fucked. We would be fucked. But the same way that you can, that a fly in your car going down the highway at, 85 miles an hour, if you have a bug in your car, it can still fly. It can still fly around. Now, how is that possible? If the car's going 80 miles an hour down the highway, why isn't the bug flat against the back windshield? Why? Because I mean, it's like, I feel like my little cousin. I have a little cousin she turns 6, I believe. I believe she would laugh at this. Like, I literally think I could sit her down in this chair and say, "Watch this man and tell me what you think," and she would laugh at him in ridicule. A 6-year-old, because
Xander facepalm.
this is a failure of the academic, the education system. This is the result of why critical thinking is important and should be taught in schools. You should be taught how to be able to look at 2 instances of information and decide, based on being rational and using logic, which of those choices are correct. And that's just not what's happening. I don't know. I mean, what do you say? What do you say to this?
Well, at this point, I feel like Daniel Pratt is, a fucking idiot.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I really don't think there's any other way to explain this.
I'm good.
other than it just because it's this stupid. I mean, he literally has a phone like glued to a grill and has it spinning around so fast it looks like it's about to fall off. And he thinks this model is how fast the Earth is supposed to move.
It's like, you know, I really, I'm unmuted. I really enjoyed, like, for the, you know, the first 24 episodes that we did of FLATURDAY. Like, you know, they were bringing, you know, not good arguments, but they were questions that, you know, the average person who's conspiracy minded, you could see why they're asking them. You know, you couldn't understand and really side with them once they got an answer, but you could sort of see where they would have this question. You know, it was at a point in time there was like the questions were legitimate. Now the answers were legitimate, the answers were true, and once they got them, they should have accepted them. But there was a point in time where the questions were good. You know, they were they sparked a conversation. This stuff is just pointless. It's a desperate attempt to keep something going that's just, I mean, how many times can you honestly explain gravity to somebody that thinks that it's just because this thing is heavier than the air, it fall down? And at what point is it their responsibility to seek out those answers? The experiments that you can do. How many times have we extended? I know I've extended on this show probably 4. Dr. John Kroon was here. He was going to incorporate his class that he taught. He was a teacher with a flat earther. Come do these experiments with me. Come out here and let's do them together. You'll have your side. You can bring up your disagreements with them. I'll have mine. We can compare data. Not one person, not one, took him up on that. Why? If you're looking for truth, if you're really actively looking for the truth, and you have somebody that's willing to pay for the experiments, to go through them with you, allowing you to come in and do them, if you're really looking for the truth, why don't you do that? Why? Well, there's an obvious reason why. Because if you are forced to look yourself out in the real world in a demonstrably proven experiment that you're wrong, then you have to come to terms with that. And as long as you can continue to be in a garage and doing experiments that come to the conclusion of, well, close enough, and you're okay with that, well, that's you. I'm not okay with close enough. I like knowing. Some people may be okay with close enough. But don't lecture the people that actually, take the time to learn the facts about the way things are, and really are searching for, an honest position of truth, and do shit like this, or insult people like Brooks, who is 95 years old and lights up like a light bulb when he's talking about back in the day when they were putting these rockets together. If you were to see that guy, like we did today, to stand in front of that guy and listen to him talk about when they were putting those rockets together, you can't fake that. You cannot fake that. I mean, this guy's whole life it's incredible. And these guys like this shit all over him. A man has spent almost a century doing things to
66 years.
Yeah, 66 years of his life doing things. And this is at the end of the war, doing things to further the knowledge that we have on this planet. He's actually doing the things that we learn things from so that we can have a better understanding of the world in which we live. And they shit all over this man who still gets out of bed at 95 fucking years old and still goes to this center and still has these conversations with people who want to know how things were back then. And you've got this guy in a fucking garage spinning a goddamn kickball on on a wheel and throwing a jug of water on it. Fuck you. Seriously, fuck you.
So, Kyle, we have a super chat from Miss V that says, Kyle, lick Jesus like a true Christian. Lick Jesus like a true Christian.
This is gonna be awkward. Make him full screen.
I'm trying to think. Lick Jesus like a full Christian.
True.
I'm trying to think. How would a Christian lick?
Well, I mean, they would suck Jesus' dick. So probably starting from the base and going to the tip.
You gotta turn it around so people can see it and like lick it.
Well, that's licking his booty hole.
I feel like his.
No, I mean like.
She wants me to give Jesus a rim job.
No.
Yeah, she does.
Like just like reach around.
Ugh. Wow. I hope you got a lot for that.
You know, it was $20. It was worth it. Okay.
Absolutely. How does he taste? Heavenly, divine.
Okay, so we thank everybody that is super chatting in for Camp Quest. If you want to do a super chat, we'll definitely read it at the end, unless it's $20 or above, in which you can make Kyle do anything, even give Jesus a rim job.
Wait a minute. That was not part of the agreement.
That was not the deal. The deal was he was going to address it.
Listen, I've seen this scenario before. This played out in my college years, right? I would start getting drunk, and then people would say, "Yeah, Kyle will do it." Oh, you want to dive in that back dumpster behind the dorm? I will do it. Yeah. That was bad. Yeah, it was a bad night. You know, the worst thing that you can hear the next morning after going out, like partying or whatever, is someone saying, "Dude, do you remember what you did last night?" Oh, that's the worst. And then they come with video. I was right at the peak of when cell phones, first got video. I remember when the first commercial came out about text messages. Like, now you can send, your family's text, and it was just like, you had a Sony Ericsson that was.
Yeah, and you had to click the buttons 3 times to.
Yeah, so it was awful. It looked just like this. It was a square box, and the display pad was like this, and then you had all the buttons. It looked like a calculator. And you would get this like text you could barely read. It came in 2 colors. You had light, dark, and dark, dark. Those were the colors, for real. You had to like angle it underneath the light to be able to read it. But these things you could run over these things, wouldn't crack.
Oh, that's the damn Nokias.
Yeah, those bricks. Yeah.
Somebody suggested that we tell people what we're doing again with the super chats.
Okay. So for the super chat. Can you mute Kyle?
Oh yeah, my bad. Sorry.
So for the super chats, what we're doing is we're donating all super chats, everything that we receive, to Camp Quest, Texas specifically. We're helping them out, raise some money for that particular camp this summer. This is in lieu of us getting any kind of like donations or whatnot, because we're getting married. And so if you want to donate to us as like a wedding gift or whatnot, that's fine. You can do that. We're going to be donating, It'll be going to Camp Quest. There's also a link in the description. If you'd rather directly donate, you can do that too. And that's what we're doing. And I hope we've already got a great number of super chats, and we really appreciate you guys doing it. So they've got a summer camp planned for June 15th is the start, June 15th to the 22nd. So if you're in the Texas area, definitely check them out if you have kids and you want to send them to a good secular type of science-based summer camp.
Until the non-sec people come to.
Yeah, all the non-sec people, I know you're over there. Come over here and donate $2 to kids to learn science, and we're discussing anti-science to promote positive actual science. All right, so do we want to go ahead and finish out this video from Pratt? It's only got like a minute or so left.
We might as well, if we collectively as a team, you, me, Casey, Dave, and this live chat have made it through this long. I think we owe it to everyone to show that we can finish out.
All right, awesome. So go ahead, Dave.
I'm going to regret saying that.
The water didn't even get all the way down to the rim. Okay? And notice how it starts to potato out like the pear shape, Neil deGrasse Tyson's pear shape, okay? See, it didn't even get down to the halfway point of the ball. And that was only halfway up. See how it starts to flatten out? And that's only at maybe 60 miles per hour rim velocity. Now, obviously, the Earth is a little harder than that, so it would take a little longer, but after billions of years, we got the wobble in there and everything. So, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, at maximum 70 miles an hour rim velocity. There's no way that water is staying on this sphere. I showed you with the machinist's handbook that
I have to say something here. The machinist handbook has fuck all to do with the shape of the Earth, and that is sacrilege for you to even bring it up, buddy.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know how they love to use inappropriate like material in order to describe shit, because like they use the 8 inches per mile squared, which produces a parabola rather than a circle. So, I mean, it doesn't really surprise me that he's using a machinist handbook in order to prove that the Earth doesn't spin. I can hear Dave reading.
Oh boy.
It's because I accidentally gave someone a moderator wrench who shouldn't have had a moderator wrench.
Uh-oh. All right, let's see what else he's going to say.
destructive force of rim velocity is independent of the radius. In other words, it doesn't matter what size the sphere is. The destructive force and the repellent force of water against gravity is clearly at a much lower point than 1,000 miles per hour. And I just proved it in Mom's basement. Have a great night.
Oh. Well. Finally, a saving grace in this stream. That was it. As John Stewart would say, your moment of Zen. It all comes full circle.
You know, I have to say, the worst thing that you could probably hear after any night, would be, Daniel, get up! It's time to make your shitty ass fucking video in the shed.
I mean, oh boy.
Oh, did he say it was in his mom's basement?
Yes, he said it.
Oh,
I just proved this in Mom's basement. Yeah, bless his heart. No, not bless his heart. Again, just because you live in your mom's basement, okay, that's neither here nor there, right? We're not going to judge him on that. Some people it's more economical. I don't begrudge him of that. I begrudge him for being a complete fucking moron. I begrudge him for thinking that the ground is a fucking treadmill, for thinking that he can spin a ball on a machine and then splash water on it. I begrudge him for that shit. The mom in a basement thing is just him putting himself in a stereotype that we were all thinking.
maybe he's just fucking with everybody.
Could be, and in that case, he would be a troll on a grand scale. But no, I don't. I'm not making fun of him for living in his mom's basement. It's just something that we all were thinking, and he, you know, he acknowledged it for us.
Geo
Just
Sam
fucking with us,
says,
and
"Now clean up all that water from my floor."
So I really don't think that he is like trolling anybody. I think that he's very sincere about how dumb he is. Okay? Because I mean, he makes videos all the time threatening people like Sean Hawkins, Team Skeptic, other people. I mean, he's very much into the whole flat earth mindset. And the fact that he like in his perspective, it like we experience like no motion or anything like that, like a treadmill outside on the earth because the earth's flattened and stationary. That's what he thinks. And so he thinks that by pointing out how the earth supposedly moves at a certain speed, like in rotational speed, he's trying to do like a reductio absurdum or something like that, trying to show how ludicrous or absurd it is to think that the earth is actually revolving, at the speeds that it supposedly is. And his basic misconception is the fact that he doesn't know how to do proper science. Like if he knew how to set up a science experiment properly, he would know that spinning that fucking kickball at however fast he was spinning it, 60 miles an hour, 70 miles. I don't really know if that was true or not, how fast he was spinning it, but he's got to know that that is way faster than what the Earth actually spins at in the actual globe model. Like you have to take the radial speed of it, which is the 0.0007 radians per minute or per second. I can't remember. I think it's RPM, so rotations per, not radians, rotations per minute. That's right. So yeah, I don't know. It's fucking. He's basically he's a fucking idiot. He doesn't know he's a fucking idiot, but yet he's gonna continue to do fucking idiot things.
Ding, ding, and ding.
and just to put something to rest, I heard somebody the other day say that just because people go to school for years and they have letters behind their name and they have a plaque on the wall, it doesn't make them any smarter than them on certain issues. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That's exactly what that means.
When it doesn't make them smarter than them on all the things, but on that thing, yeah.
No, maybe not on all things, but on the things that they're speaking of in that field. Like, for example, Dr. Sygart, who's a biologist. When you have somebody like George Lujack telling a biologist how biology works, and then saying, well, just because he has a piece of paper hanging on the wall and he's got letters behind his name, doesn't make him any smart. Yes, it does. That's why they get those letters. That's why they get that paper, because they are smarter than you and they know more than you do. And you need to be okay with that fact. You need to be okay with the fact that you're not going to know everything, despite you thinking that you do, or that you thinking that people that have those things are somehow shills, or like it's so easy to go to someone who knows about the subject and say you're a shill, or you're lying, or you're you're just trying to perpetuate the lie. It's so easy. What they don't do is they don't do a whole lot of proving them wrong, right? But you never have them actually hand over an example where, okay, doctor, this is where you're incorrect. They say a lot of, well, he's got all those letters behind his name. That doesn't make him smart. He just thinks he's the shit. A lot of this kind of talk, but no actual like proving. Why? Why can't they disprove these things?
They don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Exactly. It's just so, it's gotten to a point where it's just so, like, they're so predictable now, and they're just, we used to be able to do these things and get people in. Like, I remember the days back in over the summer where you had to turn people away, these flat earthers. You know, like there were nights we would do flat earth, they were lined up. You couldn't keep them away. Now it's like pulling teeth to get. I mean, I don't blame them. I don't blame these people for not wanting to come in. They get their ass handed to them every time they're in, and it's bad. I mean, there's never been a flat Earth thing that we've had on our channel. And GE, I'm sure the people that you've talked to, where any of them have even come close to anything that sounded like a good argument. It just doesn't happen.
No,
So-
it really does.
So why do they want to keep coming in and getting their ass kicked? They don't. They don't.
Yeah, they are smartening up, but I feel like this is just a prime example of like the Dunning-Kruger effect, and I think that the ones that are like the ones that do come on that are say they're legit flat earthers and they stick it out as a flat earther. I think that they're just a prime example of Dunning-Kruger, because it's like the more you think you know about a subject, the worse you become, or the least you know about a subject, the more of an expert you think you are. And so I find it hilarious that these people set up these experiments and then are like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, maybe if we cover it in unicorn cum, it'll deflect the heavenly energies." I don't know. It could be a thing. Can we please get a unicorn to jerk off on this motherfucker, please?
KC, you roll your eyes, but I guarantee you, if you give it enough time, that will be an argument. Unicorn cum will be a desperate enough argument at some point where they'll be putting it out there. Don't look. I have learned one thing: don't count them out. But here's what I like to do. I would like to have, if there's somebody out there. Oh, sweet.
This is the front, because the scene's in the back. Turn it, yeah, that way.
Listen, I'm about to lay out a serious challenge, and I don't think that it could be any more like better put out there than with this rainbow dildo on my head. Oh, sorry. I don't think it could sound any better than this rainbow unicorn horn on my head. I will delete NonSequitur from YouTube. Every video, every trace that NonSequitur was ever a thing on YouTube. If I can get one flat earther to give me a model that works and can't be explained by the globe model. One example, just fucking one. I will delete every single video off of this channel. I will never touch another flat earth debate. You will never hear me say another word about the shape of the earth. If you guys, you thousands of you, can give me one demonstrable model that works and can't be accounted for by a globe. And that's in front. I'm saying this here in front of everyone. That is my word. I would delete every video. Just give me one. Just one.
Well, you heard it here, there, flat earthers that might be watching. If you've got a decent model to give him, you'll delete everything off the channel. I don't think that you're going to be able to do it, but you're welcome to try. So we're ready to get to. All right. So starting back, we've got. Kyle, can you mute?
Oh yeah, my bad. Sorry.
That's fine. Artisan Tony, congrats to you, GE and KC, and happiness always. Thank you, Artisan. And then there was Cajun Crustacean asking for Frat Bro Jesus at the beginning. And then we've got Flem. Hi, congratulations. And then Teresa Ferris. Damn it! Now I have to add Globe Candace to my resume. Ferris. Sorry, Ferris. Curve Pimp Hentkowski, the laughing jester, says he's a dummy at the brass rail. Okay. Paul Reap, I'm drinking. Donate. Oh, that was Paul's Rapper Jesus request. Bill Nicholson, we don't feel motion, we feel acceleration. We read this earlier, but it's still pertinent. Does he think it's harder to walk from the front of a plane to the back just because you're working against the direction of the flight? Yes, he does. The Ambarian Night for them kids. Chris, thank you. Chris Kelling, he will never be wrong because he has insight and we are the idiots for not seeing his warped view. We will never win an argument with a flurfer. Well, I think that depends on who's actually like looking at the conversation. Like to the flat earther, they've never lost an argument whatsoever. But like to the rest of reality, they fucking lost every time. Corrupt Syntax says increased tone, decibel. Oh yeah. That was the take Jesus' clothes off. Flint Reed says, congratulations, KC and GE. You guys and Kyle are all wonderful. Have an awesome day and a wonderful life, too. Thank you, Flint. And then Who's Your Atheist says, my phone just alerted me that you're live. Pre-congrats on the upcoming nuptials. It's getting close. Tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be Mr. and Mrs. Gleason. So I know we're both excited for that. John Rapp, thank you for donating to the Camp Quest. Miss V asking for licking of Jesus. Sorry, it moved down for some reason. Corrupt Syntax. This is not the fault of the schools. This is intentional ignorance. This is wanting to feel woke or special due to a lack of it in real life. I can agree with that. Chris Kelly. Happy pre-wedding to Godless Engineer and Caitlin Chloe. I hope you have many happy years together. Thank you, Chris. We really appreciate that. S. Weingar says, I'm tired of this flat earth shit, but STL Brews makes it better. I work on flight simulation software, and this shit makes my head want to explode. Have a wonderful wedding, GE and Casey. Thank you there, Weingar. Scott Seufert says, what else does he do in his mom's basement? Obviously masturbate. Michael W. Roble, don't smoke or drink when you're pregnant, or this could be your child in the basement. The more you know. We got John Rapp, DP, and at Nothing Isn't As It Seems in the chat. How much more stupid do you guys have? So much that it hurts my brain now. Oh, then we got Sarah Kissel. I can say, based on my time in the past few years at Camp Quest, Texas, that all our campers could discredit this guy in seconds, even the youngest. I want to show it to them this summer to see the reactions. Should be hilarious. That would be awesome, Sarah. Then we got Scott Seufert. It says, Kent Hovind has never lost a debate either. That's a good point. Sarah in the chat there is leading the way for the Camp Quest, and she's kind of who we've been working with and stuff for Camp Quest, and we're going to be donating directly towards them. So we thank everybody for the super chats. We got one that came in, Dave Cowdrey, saying, congrats, KC and GE. GE, does this mean that you are no longer a beta? I was never a beta. What are you talking about? I'm always alpha.
Beta. That's amazing. Was oh, sorry. Was that all the super chats you had?
Yes, that was all the super chats.
Okay, so here's what we do now collectively as a live chat. If you're drinking, it should be all of you. We're going to raise a toast to the couple tomorrow. It has been an absolute pleasure getting to know the two of you. I couldn't be more thrilled and excited for both of you. I think you both deserve all the happiness in the world. I know you'll find it if you don't consider yourself that you have already. Thank you for letting me be a part of this special day, and to tomorrow and then forever. And to you all. Cheers.
A different kind of dinghy.
Yeah. Thank you, Kyle. Oh shit. Hold on. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah,
I
I
really
know.
appreciate yeah, so we're gonna go off. We're gonna get married tomorrow. It's gonna be awesome. And when you see us on the Monday night stream, we will be Mr. and Mrs. Godless Engineer. So we will see you guys then. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice and all that kind of good shit. And we will see you heathens later.
Bye, y'all.
Oh, Lord.